Hi, my name is Jason, and today I want to bring you my newest product. It's called Team Intelligence. So every time we start a new product, it usually starts from zero. Even if we know the team has done something very similar before, details are usually buried. You spend the first week digging through the old emails, hunting for the technical specs, or trying to remember why a specific decision was made a year ago. Once the product ends, the knowledge usually dies with it. It's not just data we're losing, it's actually the experience that the people who did the work. That's why I'm building this team intelligence. Instead of just saving the files in a folder, we use LLM to turn every product into a digital brain you can actually talk to. From there, you can just simply ask, what were the main technical hurdles from last project? Or how did we handle that specific client's request? It instantly pulls the context from emails, code, documentations, giving you the complete picture of the product history in seconds. It's like having a senior lead who remembers every detail of the product you did before. And the most important part is how we deal with the data. So in this product, everything runs local, which means your data will never leave your machine or goes to a third-party cloud. We are also building a monitoring system to ensure that your information is always protected, never lost. We also build a privacy wall, which it lets you see the other team's work at a high level, but if you need more details, it points you to the right team member to ask. This way, we share knowledge while respecting everyone's privacy. So here we're on the front page here. This is just a login page. Basically, we're showing that we have a capability to log in as a person or from outsider. Outsider would have very limited uh, restrictions to viewing the files. So that's a privacy wall we're talking about, and we're gonna make it for each team. And I want to let you know that all the data here are actually made up data. So it's like mocking data. I just made them with the LM. So let's look at it. And these are like within my team. That's my director. That's my team lead, and this is my manager, and that's my colleagues. Or so yeah, we started logging Jason How, which is me, and that's the front page we're gonna see, right? So I'm using Transport Canada as an example because I worked there before, and this is a TDG, Transport of Dangerous Goods, which is the branch I was working in. And starting there, we have two DGs here, and under them there's two directors as well, and that's my team. That's a team under Annie Marie. Again, made up name there as well. So let's look at the first feature here. We have the capability to search across the branch, which is something that we have done. Maybe very interesting. Okay, if we ever done a task before or something related to a before within the branch level, right? So that's where we're gonna ask AI for, and it's going to search it for us. Let's take a look at what data we have. These are all mock data from the very top. That's my manager's name. That's the team lead's name. That's me, and also my colleagues. So the actual data I have, not the actual data, still I make up mock data here. Just I manually input all the data myself. So the only one with data is called knob, risk model modernization, which is it has a bunch of data in it and all the other aviation risk index update. And also we got the other teams like motor carrier tasks, and also there's another one here. So these all doesn't have any data, but it's there for searching purposes. So for example, if I'm interested in you know um, let's see, just in general like governance, right? Governance. So it should return me something. Yeah, there's a data governance framework, right? And this search function is not just a keyword function, but it's more on the semantic side. So it detects the meaning of the word that you're searching and looking for the most closest semantic meaning of your projects. For example, like the one I have data inside, it's actually talking about risk score update because we're at the time we're trying to update the risk score in the team level because it's been there for like 10 years. We want to update that. Like, but the on the very top or on the very superficial level, we don't see the risk score. If we just search for the risk score, it should pop up on the very top, right? as you can tell, this is like a risk model monetization. Yeah. So let's get into it. Start by open the chat. And on this page, you're gonna see all the files that we have been used. I've been putting together for this product. So there's meetings. Meetings are actually, it could be scripts, or it could be transcription, or it could be like meeting summaries. Either way you want, so we can actually look at the what happened. This is actually a summary, just because I felt like putting a lot of script in it, it's not very realistic, but it can do that. And also we got work documents, right? So these are just typical work documents. We're gonna see there's an Excel file, that's a data file, which is how it look like when it got parsed. And also these are Word documents, methodology explanation here, very typical work documentation, right? And also we also got the emails, right? So this is like Jason to Sean and CC the Roger here, and Sean, Roger, and I have completed cross reference, etc. Like typical work email you're gonna see, right? And also the presentation here is also parsed as well. So this is usually, if you finish product, you usually end up with doing a presentation to showcase to everybody in our team, right? And we got a guide here. Guide here serves as a general policy of maybe from TBS or from TDG overall. This serves the purpose of not just having a general having something specific for the product, but also some general policy that we follow over the course of the project. So yeah, it's been there, and now we can test out how this actually works. So we can actually just ask question here. For example, starting with something very simple. Who's Jason Howe? And that's me. And it should list my contribution here, right? So Jason Howe works at Transport Canada and is involved in this project. He can be reached here and final approved. That's just my mocked email address. And technical custodian of the, well, he answered who am I and who started this project, right? That's see, Mark approved this initiation risk or reevaluation product. Sean was instructed to proceed with the statement work, right? So we have some general understanding of how the product is gonna go. And also on the bird top, we got timeline and team here. So basically what it does a very straight up summary of who's in this team and what happened over the course. So it'll be generated, it'll be cached there. So for the future reference, here we got Caroline, and we got Caroline, and then we got Aris, we got Jason, we got Roger. Those are labels course because they have the name like in the email exchange repeatedly, and also their functionality within the product, right? So and also we got timeline here. So starting from the product starting May 11th, and then going onwards to about like 2 to 3 months. So yeah, every step is being summarized into a time frame here, and might be useful when when you come back and trying to do some searches. And then the cool thing I would say is that, for example, if you're interested in a specific product, right? So if I just want to know what's the presentation, yeah. If I'm just interested in the presentation, what is the outcome of it? So summarize this file for me. So it will look into this file and trying to summarize it for you for the specific file. For example, if you have a long code that you want to ask, then there we go. That's what you have, right? So basically, what you can do is summarize all the digital information it has, and be able to just answer your questions as a digital brain. So yeah, that's pretty much I would say. And also, yeah, I want to show you the if you log in as an outsider, you won't see as much as what insider do, right? So for example, if you're looking for these products, this will show the restricted, but you can still search, for example, risk score. You still get the same result out of it, right? You just not be able to like see what's going on, but you can view the team here, right? So you can see who is in this project, but you won't be able to see the detail of what happened. You are not be able to ask questions about the product. But you can, what you can do is you can reach out to either Caroline or you can reach out to any of those people, right? Depends on their contribution. So you can ask specific questions to facilitate the communication process. Yeah, and this is my product called Team Intelligence. Thank you so much.